Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Yesterday, I had an event happen. I lost something from my home. Something disappeared, a thermostat. And then, as I was going through my day, there was a lot of triggering events. And these triggering events provoked a situation where now um, it is very well known that there's going to be a huge deep state civil war happening. Things are going to get bad. They're going to get ugly. Now, the person that was making a psychic connection with me didn't know this. She didn't know what she was getting into. In that circumstance, during the rest of that day, I began to feel very nervous. I wasn't at ease or calm. So, whoever this person was didn't know that she was going to hear me say, during the amounts of pressure that I received Saturday about what's going on, that there'll be a civil war within the deep state. And this caused a problem. This is concerning because in that instance, there was never an idea of that was the intent of trying to provoke a conversation out of the future events that some of them I do know about. And it just makes it more imminent because now I'm putting it out there. Even if one person listens to the video, it goes out into the ether. It goes out through energy, wherever it's supposed to land, and then it just starts to grow and mitigate. So her fear was so strong, I didn't have a very good night's sleep last night. It was just like this person just didn't know what she was getting herself into. It was so bad. And it was provoked by the deep state themselves. The class that are within my area and my surroundings are pushing a situation that could be avoided. And just ironically, it feels like you're setting yourself up for failure here. But why? It doesn't make sense. There isn't going to be a right answer to the solution of the planet, the earth, the people, the country moving forward in its advancement of evolution instead of being stagnant or staying backwards, which was um, interesting. Why do you want to provoke a situation like that? So it's just very odd that something like that happened. Just a glimmer of glee, of happiness, specifically on the current events that we have going on right now. So much was her deep fear that I was able to connect to the deepest, darkest desires of the deep state at the highest levels just through this single individual in that one single event. And all you had to do, just let it all go and stop. But I have to make this video so this individual that had that psychic connection with me last night doesn't get hurt, and it doesn't seem like it's coming out of her mouth or the people that she knows. So I'm trying to keep these people safe, which ironically provokes a video that then divulges a lot of information that would have instead been kept secret or quiet, or at least under wraps, until it was time to kind of let this information go, which is very unfortunate. The way you want to accelerate forward the process of unfortunate decline, which it's really bad. It really is. But I mean, if it's happening, it's happened, and you might not believe me, but it's very true. So they know this. So when all the spaceships moved out of the current galaxy that we are now in the solar system, they moved away further out because, and as I mentioned in previous videos, there's a threat to destroy the planet if things don't start going the right way, especially ending wars, which would be the number one thing to do. But either way, there's a there's a timer going on about how things should progress. And when they just slightly show that they're making progress in the right direction, and then swindle back and move back and not comply with their ideals and thoughts and wishes, because they're at the pinnacle of control of the whole planet. So these are the people that are going to be asked, are you going to do this, or do we have to destroy the planet? So they're worried that the destruction of the planet, it's going to it's directly related with the fact there are no spaceships outside, not even near Neptune. They're pushed further back away because if there is an explosion, then obviously you don't want debris hitting your spacecraft if you're too close by. So those spacecrafts are not going to come back, unfortunately. That's too bad. That's just the one step forward that they're making instead of just reneging on the things that they promised, which isn't really true. And it's very unfortunate that this is happening at this level and that I have to be the one that brings you this bad news. So there's that. The next thing is that because of I knowing my past lives, they're in deep concern that if they start documenting the things that are happening now, in case they choose a future where there's going to be less of a um, deep state commitment to letting humanity release itself and grow into the kind of planet that it's supposed to be, then that causes them concern because they'll have to document everything that's going on right now instead of intuitively knowing who your past life was or who you are or were. Just denying yourself the possibility that you can actually remember that for yourself just insinuates the fact that you prefer to keep that documented. And if you keep it documented, then someone's going to find out. And that's part of also what their concern is regarding the fear that that person had yesterday and how much it permeated me, so that then I can project that image and see deep into the fear of another organization that controls the whole planet, which is, I just can't stop thinking about it because it's just it's so ironic and so moronic to put a person in a situation like that at the lowest levels than to be put out there in a video explaining to you something that's happened as recent as yesterday. So I'm laying it out for everyone, especially so this individual psychic doesn't get hurt. The people around them that were with me yesterday also don't get hurt with the bad things that are going on and the unfortunate events that they've cascaded. They opened the door to something that shouldn't have happened, and all you had to do was just STOP, let it go. So the worrying about, oh, well, what's going to happen to me if the whole planet gets destroyed? They've been telling you the same thing over and over again, and you don't understand. There's a stasis pod with my body in it. When the whole planet gets destroyed, we're going to take his soul, put it back in his body. And that's it. And then everything will continue because this is a quarantine planet. There's a whole uh, free and open society right outside of these gates that just insinuates the fact that this is just a quarantine zone. But outside of this, if you can't see that far, obviously you can't. There's just so much technology and things happening that it doesn't matter. Don't worry about what's going to happen to me when the planet gets destroyed. That's irrelevant. That doesn't we're not connected in that way because it's a complete different thing you won't really understand for yourself. So quit worrying about that. You have the control and the power. Make the choice, go with it, and then the galactic community that's surrounding you will then make their choice based on the things that you want. So just, you know, put your big boy pants on and do something about it. Either way, I don't want these people to get hurt, and I hope that they're okay. And it's not necessary to even have this kind of information out there. But if I don't put it out, I'm afraid that somebody's going to be hurt, right? And I can't. I rather tell everyone everything that's happening right now than to have whispers out and people trying to figure out what's going on, and then they're thought to want to um, cut away at those that might want to get them in trouble quietly, so that they can continue with this sort of thing. So it's a weird video. It's unfortunately that it has to happen this way, But to be completely honest, this is the state of the situation of the planet at this time. So it's all up to you, and I know that you can do this. Thank you guys for watching, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.